My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. I'll be with my friends. I'm just trying to make a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate and teach you. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC. Tweet me at Jim Cramer. Every day, some analyst comes up with something positive about how artificial intelligence is going to change the world. Every day, it moves up a stock, maybe two. These stocks then produce pin action that spreads throughout the market. Then some other analysts will come out and say AI will boost our GDP growth by an extra percentage point or maybe 2 points. But we also have more skeptical analysts warning you to look out because it's all hype. And that includes days like today. Dow gained 169 points, S&P advanced 0.62%. Nasdaq jumped 1.02%. You know why? Because the AI bull story triumphed over the AI bear story. Tonight, I want to explain why the AI bulls could actually be right. I want to talk about why the bears are likely wrong. Today's a good example of this pin action phenomenon. This morning, we got a strong push on Adobe, one of my longtime favorites, because of how its software can be used with supercomputers that are at the heart of generative AI to develop new things with greater ease than we thought. Keep that in mind. It's a terrific concept, but for many of you, it's just too ethereal to understand. Some would say it's too 30,000 feet high for most people not in technology or in the software stocks to truly understand it. I keep running up against that all the time when I bump into you on the street. Now, see, I'm actually blessed to have someone who is currently using it, a relative. And I'm going to tell you what it really means because she tells it in just plain out English. My relative is a dressmaker. She makes floral dresses. Before Adobe Firefly, the new Adobe product that utilizes artificial intelligence, if she wanted to make a dress, say, how about one with a fruit-related pattern, it was hard to figure out how it would look. See, if you placed the drawing, say, of a lemon near the shoulder, that lemon would literally knock everything else off kilter. Might take 2 weeks of redesign to get everything back on track. Keep in mind, this person is not some amateur hobbyist. This is a professional dressmaker. How to try to figure out putting a lemon here rather than here without destroying everything. Using Adobe Firefly, powered by artificial intelligence, the same exact change, which is moving the lemon from here to here, it can be done in minutes. She says 2 minutes. And it's always better than the old version. It never makes mistakes. That doesn't mean Firefly is going to destroy dozens of jobs, does it? It doesn't mean you're going to make a fortune from it. But a designer who only has so many hours in her day to work she just got an extra 2 days worth of time. Hey, what's that worth? Again, hard to determine, but it's worth a great deal to the designer. Maybe that's what matters. So you can see how enticing the software might be to all sorts of creative professionals. And that's probably the chief reason why Adobe stock soared nearly 5% today. Should it be up that much? Oh, boy, that's a subjective question. Now, I could argue the dress issue can be iterated thousands of times, maybe hundreds of thousands of times, over many different professions, which offers a lot more creativity, a lot more productivity. What does that mean for America's gross domestic product? Your guess is as good as mine. But that's the very definition of productivity, isn't it? And that's what the revolution's about. If you want to see how many different examples of improved productivity there are, I got one way for you to do it, but no one's... All you need to do is do this. Go to NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's Computex speech on the NVIDIA website, speech he gave in Taiwan. Now, he's got a bunch of examples. I've pushed this speech probably to 50 people in the last 2 weeks. I only know one person who watched it. It figures he's one of the greatest industrialists of our time and has a tremendous thirst to learn. You should adopt his techniques. So for the uninformed, let me go over what he's saying, and then you can decide if what Jensen's calling with the hype or if he's calling the reality. The most important productivity improvement that Jensen sees coming from AI is in the biggest industry in the world, and that's the multi-trillion-dollar factory manufacturing business, the making of factories. The business, oddly, is a lot like the dress example I just gave you. Every single time that you build a factory, the biggest, most complicated issue is what's known as the change order, the new lemon on the dress. A change order precipitates many other change orders, which are the real cost to manufacturing things. Imagine if you could make, let's say, a twin of that factory using a supercomputer and artificial intelligence. Every time you wanted to make a change, you just made it on the digital twin first. See how it works. See what it moves. Right now, BMW is about to build a factory that was first imagined with a digital twin. Again, we don't know how much money is being saved. The plant's being built right now. But we know it's going to produce 150,000 autos in Hungary in 2025. And we can't say how much it's going to mean to the bottom line. It hasn't even pushed your car through yet. But that said, the digital twin could end up saving billions of dollars in construction costs and in time. Again, put that in the equation. It's a pedestrian use, for certain, but it reduces waste. By the way, Jensen's driven by waste more than anything else when I talk to him, and it's more efficient, it's cheaper. So what's it worth again? We're not able to calculate it, darn it. However, if you remove the largest amount of friction from the biggest industry in the world, you can see a real GDP impact. That's not nonsense. Of course, the problem with calculating what AI will mean is that so much of it is business to business, not business to you, meaning it's totally invisible to the consumer unless you use it at work. For example, an outfit called Foxconn, they outsource to assembler computers and other gadgets. They use AI to detect manufacturing defects, so many others do too. NVIDIA says they can save $6 trillion in quality control if they're implemented worldwide. Okay, there's $6 trillion. Highly personalized ads generated for you by AI could revolutionize the $700 billion advertising industry. Automatic speech recognition could replace the poor customer service representative who gets asked the same question over and over again. Jack in the Box is using it right now in the drive-thru. Its CEO, Darren Harris, told us that not only does the bot save on the cost of an employee, it actually does a better job with fewer mistakes, better prompts for upsells, makes you buy a bigger milkshake. He's tried to fool it many times. He never has been able to. The quick serve industry, rocked by labor shortage, it's not going to be the same once people figure out what Jack in the Box has done. Equipment that needs to be towed or moved around using big forklifts will now be able to be placed on robots and programmed where to go, something that could save who knows what. Jensen calculated that the robots will save 70% of the time it would take humans to do the same work. Again, right to the bottom line, but very pedestrian, very prosaic. What makes this more exciting is that NVIDIA has teamed up with Google Cloud, Meta, and Microsoft to explore the possibilities. Oracle is going to be partnered too, and NVIDIA itself can be hired directly. These companies are salivating because the giant GPU that NVIDIA recently unveiled, which is all in the video, by the way, can process, and this is what really gets me down because I don't understand any of these numbers, but some of the younger people might, people given to math. This processes 1 quintillion floating points per second. You know what a quintillion is? It's a billion. Or written out, it's 1 followed by 18 zeros. That level of computing power doesn't mean anything to me. It's incomprehensible. But to some people, they know that this changes everything. Because these speeds are a quantum leap versus what we had before. NVIDIA got orders for $4 billion more equipment than it thought it would just 3 months ago. It's the speeds. Now, I know none of this is even remotely exciting. It's not exciting that Cadence, one of their partners, makes the casings, that Marvell and Broadcom make the connecting pipes, or that ServiceNow has teamed up with NVIDIA to make your office more efficient. I know it means so little to you. It's just all of this business-to-business productivity that cuts waste, lowers costs, and frees up people to be more efficient. That's why I mentioned the lemon dress, okay? Not as boring, but you can see the value. Honestly, I wish there were more to it. That there was something that, like I was thinking the other day, how about if AI could put a man on Mars in 2 days? How about if AI could win the war for Ukraine? How about if it could solve world hunger? No, it can't do any of that stuff. And maybe that's why it leaves so many of you cold or in the dark. But here's the bottom line. When you consider the scale of the business-to-business opportunity, you can see why AI might be worth far more than most people realize, even if it's too early to calculate the exact numbers. I know there's a lot of hype here, and in some individual cases, it is overblown. But anybody who tells you that the AI theme's pure hype, that person is only fooling herself. They know nothing! Let's go to Annie in Rhode Island, please. Annie.
Hi, Jim. It's an honor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Annie. How can I help?
Oh, I just want to thank you for being such a great teacher all these years.
Thank you. And that's what I want to do. Thank you. I'm living ambitiously. I'm teaching everything.
It's great. So this stock I've had for about a year and a half. In October, it took a big tumble. I just can't believe that there's not endless demand for what they do, and the price of real estate keeps going up. So why the big drop in share prices? And should I hang on to American Tower?
American Tower's been a very bad stock to own. Crown Castle's been even worse. These stocks turn to be very linked to, far more linked than we thought, to the bond market. And as rates went up, these went down. But at 190, I do not bless selling it. I bless holding it. Let's go to Tommy in California. Tommy.
Hi, Jim. The company I'm calling about makes popular shoes. They've recently been expanding their offering, and it looks like they're even moving into activewear. Can you give me the scoop on Skechers?
Okay, they've been in activewear for a long time. Now, Skechers is a sink or swim stock. I've recommended this at times. It's made people a fortune, and at times it's cut me off the knees. That's why right now I like On. I think at these prices, On. It's actually a better buy than Skechers all the way up. Okay, we're in the early innings of the AI revolution. I'm trying to explain it to you in simple ways, but it's not a simple concept. I know there are a lot of people who think it's hype out there, but anyone who thinks that is really missing the main point. On Mad Money tonight, the IPO class of 2021 had some enterprise software stinkers. But there were two names that stood out this earnings season from the group that I think investors should be paying attention to, if not buying. Then, with recession fears still lurking, should investors turn to precious metals? A streaming company like Wheaton, you know I like the precious metals. I'm checking in with the company CEO. And we're not seeing the large layoffs that you probably expect at this point in the cycle. So what does that mean for our economy? I'll break down the situation. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.